Hey, this is Spartan 300 Therm, and I like StarCraft 2 no matter how bad I am at it. So, this is a particularly interesting match. I did end up winning. I probably need to put more defeats of mine and analysis of why I lost. Because, to tell the truth, I feel a little bit awkward posting only victories. It kind of... And how could I define it? I guess narcissistic? Beside the point. So now, what happens is that this is a match where I sort of need to react to my opponent, because my standard build is Dark Templars and Tempests. Let me try again. Dark Templars and Tempests. Tempest sounded a little bit nasally. Speed this up. So what happens was, he has a, the Protoss Scout unit. Why can't I remember what it's called? I want to say Pro, but that's the builder unit. We'll see in a few minutes. But anyway, he puts one of those into the mix, and that makes my DTs almost useless. I may as well be having Zealots because they get charged. They probably have a little bit less health, but it doesn't really matter. So now I go for my standard forward defenses build, so that way I can safely expand with virtually no military defenses. My opponent seems to I wouldn't say it's a rush, but... Actually, nah, this isn't remotely a rush, but he goes very, very stalker heavy. Which is interesting. In the beginning, there are almost no Zealots of his. So now I go for my expand. I'm building a bunch of pylons. What I forget to do in this match is put second pylons further back for the turrets, because then what happens is that you just destroy a single pylon, and then all my turrets are useless. And luckily I have them on two sides, but it kind of ends up killing me. So I put a small, what's it called? Like, I guess you could say pass. You know, going very Thermopylae style, ancient Greeks. Something that I've recently added to my build, but I didn't use in this match, is that I sort of make a pathway leading to the second base, my natural. So what happens that then they have to go around or destroy everything on the way. Either way, waste time and gives the photon cannons a couple of extra shots. And if I have a lot of them, well, that really helps. So now, fully saturated main base, about half saturated secondary, and what scouting do we have? He has none of me, but he's sending one. I have none. Wait, I did send a scout earlier. I would show, but it's not significant enough. And I see that he's building on his natural, and I didn't get to see that he had the cybernetics core and the warp gates and whatnot. He tries to send in a scout, but what information did he get? So he understands that I have forward defenses. Okay. And I didn't get to see the, I didn't even get to see the robotics facility. I didn't get to see the cybernetics core, the additional two gateways. You know, I didn't really get very good information. So now he sends in his forces, consisting of a bunch of stalkers, a zealot, and a, a mortal. So now let's look at the units. So I have a mothership core. He has a mothership core. He has 10 stalkers. I have 2 stalkers. I have 2 sentries. He has none. He has an immortal. I have none. I have 5 zealots. He has 1 zealot. So overall, his force is significantly more powerful than mine. However, I have the large amount of turrets, and that's enough protection for probably early portion of the mid-game. And at that point, I'd probably have enough, good enough of an economy to get a large military up. So I'm not too sure what I'm spending on. Yeah, so I'm going for a big burst of Stargates. I decided to go very Stargate heavy in this match, more so than I usually do. So he sends in my Zealot, and as you can see, he shuts down 2 of my turrets because he didn't have the second pylon. So now, look closely. So now, if he had pushed forward, he probably could have annihilated my military forces if he brings in some regular reinforcements, and probably destroyed everything. From his perspective, maybe not, but look at what information he has on my army. He sees what could very well be either my entire army, in this case it was, probably missing like 1 or 2 units over here, or it could be a larger force equal to or greater than the size of his, in addition to the turrets. So, all I can say is that I guess he assumes that his force is greater than mine. He sees the force fields go up. Also, actually, yeah, he probably just does it because these 3 photon cannons are a huge pain to deal with. So, I have the 2 Stargates. I go pretty void ray heavy, and then I switch to a ton of Tempest. I get a lot of Tempest in this. So I warp in some more Stalkers, and he retreats. So, he runs away, and that's pretty much the end of that incursion. I probably lose about like 1,000 minerals. Not 1,000, that's a huge exaggeration. Let's see here, 150 photon cannons. So yeah, I probably lost 450, I believe the number is. 300 plus 100. Nah, 400. So yeah, I lost 400 minerals worth of structures. This is a pretty big blow to take right now. Especially considering my economy. I have like a quarter saturated base and a full saturated base. He has, what's with this lag? Come on. Really, lag? Okay then. I'll pause it. Is this working? No? That's unfortunate. Ah, it's getting... Come on. Okay, that worked. I just quickly stopped recording and then recorded again. Sorry about that, guys. So now, he sends in another assault. You know, I'll rewind. So here we go. So now he sends his force forward. He realizes that they're divided, so he sends them all back so that way they can rally, and then he goes forward. He also has the observer. That's what it's called, observer. Referencing to earlier, if you forgot. So now I have the 2 void rays up, which make a very big difference in this attack. So now times 2 speed. He's waiting for some more stalkers to come in. So I probably should have built a forward pylon. That really would have helped him. Does he have warp gates yet? No. Is he researching? Really? He never researches warp gates? That's probably what killed him. Anyway, so the photon cannons go a little bit further back because I'm concentrating forward. And I have 4 void rays up, and that is really tough to deal with, especially with the turrets helping. He manages to take out a second pylon. And so he's going for a very hit-and-run style of attacks, even though he probably can attrition me to death. Now speed this up. So I move forward. I warp in some Colossi to trick him. I was watching earlier. He could see it. Okay. I should look at what he saw, because he never really gets to see the full strength of my military, so... Actually, no, I guess that's it. I mean, in that situation, I probably won't assume that that's full military anyway, so... I think that the only reason I won is I kept on assuming that that's full military. I don't know what he thought of those Colossi. He probably wasn't paying enough attention, so he thought that they were real Colossi, most likely. But, I don't know. So now he takes down these rocks, that way he can safely go to his 3rd. And so, he goes on ahead to boost his economy. As for me, I build my 3rd. What I usually like to do is I'm not sure if you guys can hear that phone ringing. I am sorry. So now, I usually go for a simultaneous expand. I build the Vespine geysers. I build 2 pylons. And I do that twice over for a 2nd base, sometimes at the 3rd, sometimes at the 4th. In this instance, I went for the, I think this is the 4th. Yep. 1st natural, 3rd expand, 4th expand. I go for the 5th, or... I'm not really sure the exact positioning on this map, but I never go for my 3rd. I go for a 3rd in the wrong location, at least. So now, you see the DTs in my mix. I got the Tempest coming in, and I'm going for my standard build. And I don't know yet that he has the Observer. However, I do find out that he does have some sort of detection. I don't know if it's the Observer yet. All I know is that he had detection, so I eventually just give up on the DTs. So now, he sends his Observer forward. Does he see my force? Yes, he does. So now so he scouts for a 3rd. And what's really convenient is that since this is the natural, not natural, a standard 3rd. I guess you could say it's the natural thing for the 3rd that a player would go for. But anyway, so he sees that there's no 3rd, so I guess that he assumes that my economy is terrible right now. In reality, I have I have 2 fully saturated bases. He has 2 fully saturated bases. So, you know, and I'm about to have this base about to be half saturated in like 6 seconds. So yeah, got this train of probes coming in. So yeah, quarter saturated bases and 2 full saturated. My economy is superior to his. I'm also spending a lot more. He accumulates this massive bank. I mean, here's a problem with this build. He never goes for warp gates. If he had warp gates, he could have withstood the counterattack that I make later. I mean, it was just his lack of warp gate. Now this base is 1.5 times the amount of saturation he needs. It's a little ridiculous. I get the mothership up. For some reason I decided to build it here. Don't really know why. All I know is I do. So he's got several phoenixes up with him. I guess that's probably to counter my void rays. He doesn't know the Tempest yet, from what I know. I can tell. Got the mothership up. I decided to send my entire army to the beacon because, well, what's it called? Zelnaka Tower, because, well, why not? Let's just fast forward through here. Nothing interesting happens. He does get to see the immortal, but I don't think that means much. So now, fast forward too far. Doesn't really matter. So I go in to attack the 3rd. And something really stupid I do is that I kind of decide to hide into this corner over here and maybe make like a quick last-ditch kind of thing. And for some reason he tries to run away. I guess because he sees the mothership core, so he can't really determine how big my force is. He probably can't see a good amount of them from the observer, but probably not enough to make an informed decision as to how big my army is. However, he goes directly for my base. I have these 2 carriers, and they get destroyed. I almost kill 1 Phoenix, and that wasn't nearly a worthy trade. I warp in some DTs, not yet aware that he has the observer, and they die pretty fast. Oh, really? Yeah, they die pretty fast. So now he catches himself in a horrible spot right now. Turrets on one side, army on the other, and he decides to pull back. And wasn't getting my shields up. Probably could have won that fight. So now he uses the, what's called mass recall to get his army away from there. And that saves him. To tell the truth, if he hadn't done the mass recall, he probably could have won. Once again, I won this match probably due to lack of his information. So then, my army goes in for a counterattack. He quickly stops me. Got some more stalkers coming in. He retreats back here, probably assuming that I won't press forward. And I do anyway. So he has the space just lying around here. He isn't really making any money off of it, but he probably soon will. So, let's kill it. I wasn't aware that I wasn't making any money off of it, or wasn't mining from it, whatever you could say. But even still, I kill it. No problem. And once again, I make the same mistake. I back into a corner, and he makes the mistake of not pursuing. Wait, did he pursue this time? Yeah, he does pursue this time. So I send in my army. I forgot about the mass recall on my mothership. So all my ground forces die, including the Void Rays. However, what I end up doing with the Tempest is pretty fun. I don't know why it's skipping me, so. There's not a single reason for that. All it does is gives my Void Rays extra time to kill stuff. So yeah, I'm winning this technically. I mean, if anything, it's pure victory. Now my Tempests are up here killing some of these probes. I wasn't even aware they were doing this because I did on move attack order. But even still, they kill some probes before they die. So, whilst a pure... It was probably a pure victory for them. This Colossus is virtually dead. I killed a good amount of these guys. You know, probably go back to production. I'm building some Void Rays, Stalkers coming in. I'll try sending in some last-second reinforcements. In a pretty pathetic attempt. My forces get really divided. I send them back. I have the 2 Tempests coming in. I got Void Ray. No, he has a Void Ray. Oh, that's why those Stalkers were taking so long. Those were his. So yeah, I've got 2 carriers coming in. He probably shouldn't have consolidated. So I send the DTs back because I probably wasn't even yet aware that he had the observer there. And then he finds them. I kill them. So what? I think I killed 1 Stalker there in return for 3 DTs. This guy escapes. So yeah, wasn't very good. I'm warping in some more troopers. And you get a pretty solid army up pretty quickly. 2 Tempests, 2 carriers, and a bunch of ground forces. I have the turrets and whatnot to help me defend. In a head-on fight, I probably would lose, but with some good micro, I probably could be able to repel an assault. If anything, I'd make it a pure victory for him. But in StarCraft, a victory is a victory, no matter how many forces you lose. So as you can see, I'm getting a total of 4 Tempests, 2 carriers, and 2 Phoenixes. Because I'm just going very air-heavy here, because I noticed the Colossi, the Stalkers, from what I can tell, aren't really too good for anti-air. Now, he sends in an assault. I'm getting forces up as fast as I can. I don't know when the next counterattack is coming. I don't care. Actually, I really do care. Now, he goes in for the 3rd because I guess he assumed that I went for one. Wait, he's about to go for it. Okay, good, I'm not wrong. Yeah, I watched this video earlier. So now, he goes in for my 3rd, which doesn't exist. Ha ha ha, my 3rd is up here and my 4th is here. So he goes back and goes around. That gives me another few seconds to get some troopers out, which is pretty useful because it allows me to get an additional 2 Tempests into the fight. So now, what happens here is very interesting and costs him the game. To tell the truth, it was a pretty terrible opportunity to attack, but he was at full army. If he had Warp Gate, for some reason he doesn't attack me when I'm killing the Stalker. Anyway, yeah, so he blinks in, which was a little bit pointless. So yeah, he kills my Zealot wall. I move back so that way the Photon Cannons can do some stuff. I got, how many? 5 Tempests here. Now, he never gets Warp Gates, and that's what killed him. So now, he sees on my front line, or at least from what I assume he saw. What did he see? Yeah, he probably doesn't know that much. So now, from what he could see, he assumes that he can't take me in a head-on fight. Even though he probably could. If he had Warp Gates, actually. Keep on assuming he has Warp Gates so he can stream in reinforcements, but he can't. I have a better economy than him, but he has a better military. So now he stands around for a few seconds. A few minutes. Then he goes for my actual 3rd. No, he goes for my 4th. No, never mind. So yeah, he goes directly for my 3rd, which kills him. This kills him. Because I have all the Tempests, I have all the carriers, which are super long range. So that means if they're attacking from above, my infantry is coming in from the side, they can't do anything about this. Not to mention the fact that a good amount of shots himself are coming in, we're going towards the Nexus. He blinks right in the middle of my Zealots, even though he ends up killing them all. Actually, no, he doesn't. I mean, he got 2, yeah, he does kill all the Zealots, but look at how tiny his army is got. Yeah, he's just dying horribly. he's trying to produce some more units, I'd assume. Yeah, he's trying to get reinforcements, but he doesn't have warp gates, so with warp gates, probably could get another 21 guys before I arrive. Plus some guys from the robotic facility. But nah, he just doesn't have warp gates. If he had warp gates, he probably could have repelled this. He really could have. But he didn't have the warp gates, and that killed him. So now I go directly for the main base. And from this point on, it's a slaughter. He tries to build a bunch of stargates up for no apparent reason. I don't know what he was hoping to do with the stargates. I really don't. Anyway, so he's got the single Colossus here, and I go for them with the Phoenix. And the Colossi, as most people would probably know, is vulnerable to air-only attacks, and has no anti-air. So he's probably trying to save this Colossus, trying to do as much damage with it as possible, and in the end he only gets, like, one zealot. So I kill a Void Ray that tries to kill my Phoenixes. They go in to kill the Colossus. And he's trying to save it as much as he can, the building's going away. And right before I lose the Phoenix, I kill it. So I just type in LOL because, you know, it looks kind of funny. And I got all this airborne artillery. I have a relatively large ground force to support. And he's using, what's it called? Chrono Boost on it. Again, DTs, really? And once again, if he had the DTs, he could have killed almost all of my ground forces. And he could have warped them in quickly with warp gates. But he didn't have warp gates! So I send most of my aerial artillery down here to take out his third. His fourth, I believe it was 8, 16, 24, 32, 40 unused probes. I mean, they probably could have also boosted his economy. He had the resources he would have needed if he had warp gates. Actually, what upgrades did he have? Yeah, I think he had 331. So I just kill him off, and from this point on, pretty much just slaughter. Yeah, I kill the base down here, which he tries to retreat to, but against a force this large, trying to move your base won't help you at all. Also, he tried to move it way too late. He wouldn't have gotten tech up enough tech. Actually, nah, he does get DT, but what's it gonna do against all these guys, really? So yeah, he just surrenders. So, GG. I'm Spartan300 Therm. A like and subscription are appreciated, and I will see you next time.